The crowd is assembled at the American Airlines Center looking for a Mavericks win here in downtown Dallas. The Heat will play just this one game on the road before returning back home to Miami. Well, they're entering a bit of a soft spot in their schedule, facing off guys against some of the lower-ranked teams in the league, and we'll see if they're able to take advantage and grab their win total.
All of their recent games have been high-energy, high-quality effort. I mean, they've been playing with a lot of emotion.
And here's Collison, averaging 8 points a game. Back to Carter. Feeds to Mayo. Wade is covering. Fades away. Cannot hit.
A very rough quarter for him, as not much is falling right now. Well, when you have the talent that Miami has, Kevin, you figure that kind of team is going to be pretty formidable, whether they're playing at home or on the road.
His offensive game is so refined, guys, extremely well developed in just about every aspect.
Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Eric Spoelstra. And what'd you find out, Doris?
Kevin, we've talked at length about how they plan to contain this excellent offensive ball club. He said, you know, our opponent changes, but our principles stay relatively constant. It's all about denying the high percentage shots, the layups, free throws, and open three-pointers. If they're hitting contested jump shots, you just have to tip your hat to them. Kevin, a sound strategy.
And Doris, thank you as always. And of course, facing an offense like this, you really have to be aware at all times of the weapons they throw at you.
No question. You know, and it's one thing to plan for them. It's another thing when you actually see them. This is an explosive club, so they've got to be ready defensively.
Yeah, it takes some defensive creativity in my mind. He's shown himself to be a coach who's always got a few wrinkles in his pocket.
Like you mentioned, Miami very good on the road because they just knew how to put up points. I guess that's kind of always what it comes down to. Who's going to score the most? But on the road in particular, you got to score a lot.
You got to be able to score, and you've got to be able to defend. And Miami did both of those things last year. Obviously, an incredibly gifted team with LeBron and Wade, but third in the league in field goal percentage offense. And they were able to go out on the road and score enough to win.
Mayo, that's good.
6 points in short order. 2 straight from deep. That's what can happen with the three ball.
Yep, they got it going. Nice, clean looks.
The drive by Wade. Blocked. But he recovers it. Here's Clutch. Lets the three fly. The shot's good on the assist by Wade. Clutch has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Collison against Chalmers. Collison kicks to Marion. And it's Haslam with the rebound.
You know, you look at Rick Carlisle, and I think he's evolved as a coach. His teams early on in his tenure tended to play kind of slowly, very defensive-minded and tough. But you think of the Dallas team that won the title in 2011. They were freewheeling. They were excellent offensively, great spacing. And so I think Rick Carlisle has really evolved as a coach.
On the Mavericks with some changes. Dante Jones, he's checked in for Carter. Obaugh comes in for O.J. Mayo. And it's Isaiah Thomas in for Darren Collison. Rashard Lewis, he's checked in for the Heat. Norris Cole comes in for Mario Chalmers. Again, the miss by the Heat. Steve, you're talking about Carlisle's evolution as a coach, adapting his system to fit his team. That's a hallmark, I think, of a pretty good coach.
Yeah, I think so, Kevin. I mean, you have to be adaptable in this game because personnel is different from season to season, sometimes from week to week, depending on injuries. And I think Carlisle has shown that versatility. He's really good, especially offensively, in drawing up schemes to free up players and give them space and take advantage of.
So the Heat, their last game, a win against the Minnesota Timberwolves.
They took advantage of an opposing defense that looked completely out of sorts in that game, guys.
Yeah, they didn't come up against much resistance at all. I mean, they had success with pretty much whatever they tried.
Sean Marion and Dirk Nowitzki, both excellent players at the forward spots. Collison is out there with Dominique Jones. And it's Kaman in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. So that's who Dallas starts the second with. To the middle. Hammers it home.
Sheer, unadulterated power right there. I mean, He ripped it down with both hands.
Absolutely. Steve, a resounding dunk.
Yeah, a take-no-chances slam, guys.
Dishes at Demarion. Some nice passing here by Dallas. And it's Kaman missing.
Well, at least he had the presence of mind to change his shot when the defense got on him. You got to improvise sometimes.
This is Chalmers up top. The pass to Harrington from downtown. Mavericks with the rebound. Coming off that loss against Philadelphia.
And guys, had their free throw shooting been anywhere near up to par, I think it would have changed everything in that game.
No doubt about it. I mean, there is a carryover effect when you're not having success at the line. It infiltrates other parts of your game. Boy, he is such a ridiculous dunker.
High riser, no doubt about it.
Well, we've come to expect plays like that from him. And still, they never get old to watch. You know, when you look at Dwayne Wade, when he's standing next to LeBron James, he doesn't look that big. But you forget, Wade is 6'4" and almost 230 pounds. So he is built like a tight end, has that incredible speed. And with his skills at that two-guard spot, he is just impossible to stop.
Chalmers, he's covered by Collison. Wade outside. Over Jones. Chris Kaman pulls it in.
Even though he missed it, he couldn't pass up that chance.
Yeah, that's an easy jump shot. You got to take that.
And speaking of Wade and his tremendous athleticism, you know, his off-season training as advanced as they come.
How about this, Kevin? His trainer has a degree in mathematical science and helped design jet fighters in the past. So, you know, there's a level of sophistication that Wade's getting that maybe some other guys are not getting. But it points out the importance of performance enhancers as trainers at the highest level of athleticism.
And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Jones kicks to Kaman. It's a look, and there's the rejection. But they get it back. Jones dishes to Collison. He kicks it to Kaman. Jones, that's good.
Textbook offensive rebounding right there. I love that. Those putbacks are buckets any team loves to get.
Pass to Chalmers. No luck. Kaman with the defensive effort. Mavericks trailed by 7. Here's Marion.
Oh, my goodness. What a huge play.
Great finish there, Kevin. Took it strong to the cup.
Yeah, an aggressive two-handed jam.
And that's the kind you like, especially in traffic. You got to make sure.
That was a nice replay. Brought to you by Sprite. Here's Clutch. The dish now to Chalmers. He feeds it to Harrington. Over Kaman. Al Harrington again. Harrington's got 4 points this quarter. The Mavericks have gone 4 of 8 so far here in the second quarter. Hit them clean. And a strong finish with 2 hands.
Now that's what I'm talking about. That's how you do it. Find a gap in the defense and attack that rim with force.
He is so good at doing just that.
Maybe as good as anybody. Just so athletic and strong.
Kicks to Kaman. Harrington on him. Easy shot. And it's Kaman missing.
I don't like his body language, guys, right now. He looks like he's completely out of rhythm.
Here's Battier, and the layup is good. Battier's got his first bucket in this one.
Yeah, we're now starting to see them get some high percentage shots.
Passes to Nowitzki. There's the triple. Here's Marion. Can't get it to fall. The Heat leading by 9. This is Chalmers up top. He's covered by Collison. Fires it up. Chalmers' shot is no good. The Mavericks have gone 7 of 14 in the second quarter, shooting to the tune of 50%.
You typically get a bit of a grace period as an organization after you win an NBA title. But I can imagine the Mavs would have liked to have done better against the Thunder in last year's playoffs.
Yeah, getting swept did not taste good. Mavericks making a switch here. Carter's checked in. And Miami with a change here, too. Haslam's checked in. Nowitzki, good.
He's found a rhythm here in this second quarter, guys. He looks good.
The Heat have gone 8 of 13 in the second quarter, well above the 50% mark from the field. He dishes it to Chalmers. Buries it from about 10 feet away. Chalmers has got his second basket of the night. Clark, as you mentioned with the Mavs, no team likes to go one and done in the postseason, but that's exactly what happened to them, especially when you know some of your stars are aging. And they've got some age there right now.
Yeah, but they've got some house money to play with, Kevin, because of that championship the season before. But, you know, Dallas is now in a transition phase. They knew that their stars were getting older, so they had a pretty good draft this past summer. Now it's a time to move forward to the next era of Mavs basketball. Well, guys, he's a tremendous spot-up shooter. Even with a hand in his face, he can knock down that jump shot. Very solid in terms of his focus and his concentration.
And, you know, he's got another skill that you love to see in a player. The ability to create a high-quality shot for himself off the dribble.
And that one's good. Clutch has got 13.
Well, that's been nice, efficient work, guys, that he's been doing. I mean, we haven't seen him take many bad shots, and that's the sign of a mature, poised player.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Hi, Kevin. Clutch, in their last time out against the Timberwolves, played just phenomenally. He ended with 19 points, and he also added a few assists as he set up his teammates as well. He really was the second unit for his team in a great performance, guys.
Okay, Doris, thanks. Great report on what was, Clark, an outstanding performance.
Kevin, he was simply on fire. These are the kinds of games that define truly great NBA careers.
Yeah, you could see from the beginning, he just seemed to have it. You know, he was on his game, and he remained aggressive throughout in what was really a great win.
6 to shoot. Collison kicks to Carter. Lets it go from deep. It's hauled in by the Heat. Wade's got his third rebound on the night. And this matchup with the Mavericks, it's the first meeting of the season.
Yeah, this was an interconference matchup a year ago, and they had no problem with it, winning both matchups.
And we finished one half of basketball. Heat lead by 14. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Great to have you with us this Thursday night of NBA action. Miami up on top against the Mavericks at American Airlines Center. With their winning streak, this team is playing with a whole lot of confidence right now. Offensively, they've been in a zone. A lot of great team play, providing looks from all over the floor. For Dwayne Wade, things are going way too easy against the Mavericks D. He's got 16 points, and he's been all over the defensive side of the court as well. And for the Mavericks, it's a grinded-out effort. Tenacious offensive rebounding. Their second chance points are piling up. All around great effort by O.J. Mayo. His scoring has been on the rise, his game improving by leaps and bounds. And now we'll get you back out to American Airlines Center. See you next halftime.
Beautiful view here.
Clutch.
The feed now to Chalmers. Now Haslam inside. Back to Chalmers. And it's out of bounds to the Heat as Miami retains possession. Well, as usual, a lot of offense in the NBA is being generated from the small forward position this season. Here are the league's best at that position. LeBron James third.
Those are some tremendous athletes, as we're used to seeing at that spot on the floor. You know, they can pretty much all give phenomenal individual performances on any given night.
And most nights, that's exactly what they do. Every team wants and needs scoring from the small forward position. And all of the players on that list provide it.
So with Wade on the bench, this is who Eric Spoelstra has on the floor. Clutch in a two-guard. Haslam's out there with Al Harrington. And it's LeBron James. And it's Chalmers in at the point guard position. Inside, it's taken away by Collison. And here we go, the Mavericks on a fast break. Collison's got the ball, so the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Well, there's probably two areas of concern if you're a Miami fan. One is the depth of the front court, and the other is the point guard situation. Although last year I thought Mario Chalmers had an excellent season, and Norris Cole was a surprise, the rookie out of Cleveland State.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Eldon Brand's checked in for Kamen. Marion comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. And it's Isaiah Thomas in for Darren Collison. Mavericks trailed by 18. Well, back to Miami. If they can see their young players, and Steve was just mentioning this, grow into that point guard role as they did last year, then really, Clark, front court depth will be their only concern going from this point on.
And that's a pretty short list of concerns to have if you're a team. I mean, the Heat will always have to worry about depth to some degree given how they're built around the big three, but it looks like they won't have too many point guard issues going forward.
Thomas. Miami grabs the miss. Clutch has got 3 rebounds now in this one. Looking ahead, they've got the Jazz coming into town for the next game. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand.
You know that Utah game has a lot of attention on it.
Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him. Clutch has got 15 points.
3 straight buckets in the paint. They're making it look effortless.
Well, speaking of effortless, you'd like to see a little more out of the defense. How about trying, guys?
Well, O.J. Mayo stepping into the instant offense off the bench role for the Grizzlies last season, and it seemed to suit him quite well. I mean, a guy who can heat it up like that can hurt you from outside, and certainly a valuable part of their rotation, a guy that they counted on to produce points, and he did.
It's good on the putback. Brand's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Now, sometimes offensive rebounds are lucky, but he anticipates and gets to the right spot before the shot goes up.
Heat moving the ball around. Feeds it to Cole. Dishes it to Harrington. Jacks up a 3, and it's good. Harrington's got 7 points. You've got to give O.J. Mayo a lot of credit, Steve, accepting that bench role, not being a malcontent and being a good team guy.
Yeah, former number 3 overall pick in the draft, but he showed that he's all about winning by accepting that role. And I think that's more important to teams than, seeing whether a guy will start or not. Will he accept his role and will he finish games? That's what Mayo did.
Here's Cunningham, not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down. Cunningham's got his first 2 points of the night. The Heat leading by 17. Back to LeBron. That's good, and so Chalmers with the assist. Chalmers has got 4 assists now tonight.
Well, guys, Eric Spoelstra is really a young coach, but he's worked his way up from video coordinator to being one of the outstanding head coaches in the league. To be where he is, coaching one of the very elite teams in the NBA in Miami, you couldn't ask for a better position or a better opportunity, but I really have great respect and admiration for the way he's handled that and grown into that position. It's one of the better stories in the league in my mind.
Now, the offensive efficiency has been really important. I think that's been the difference.
Well, I think it's pretty simplistic, but it does oftentimes come down to this, making shots, and that's what they've done.
He's been trying to add that mid-range shot to his arsenal, but it still isn't there. Well, you talk about the job that Eric Spoelstra has done for the Heat, Clark, a young coach certainly, but he's earned the opportunity to coach this roster, and he's shown that he's up to the task, one of the brightest young coaches in the game.
They're just getting hammered inside and really need to find a way to be tougher down there. They got to be physical. They got to man up in there.
I agree. I mean, you look at the points they're giving up, most of them seem to be coming inside the paint.
Here's Beaubois. Shot is no good, and it's Miami the other way. Here's Clutch. 17 points in the game. LeBron with it. He's picked up by Brand. Offline from the high post. Maverick shooting here in the early goings of the second half has been awful. 25%. Beaubois, the pass to Marion. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Marion's got 4 points in the quarter.
Nice touch near the hoop.
The Heat leading by 21. Here's Clutch, averaging 20 points per game. Lewis on the wing. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist. LeBron's now got 6 assists now in the game. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
Brand dishes to Cunningham. Lets it fly from 18. Rebound by the Heat.
Yeah, that's a low percentage shot right there.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, he's got to be thinking out there a little better. Make the pass in that situation. Don't force a bad shot.
Dallas has gotten 1 of 6 3-pointers to drop since coming out of the locker room at halftime. And the shot is good from Nowitzki.
It's been a great day for him from the field, but his team still trailing.
And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Chris Kamen's checked in for Brand. Jones comes in for Sean Marion. O.J. Mayo, he's checked in for Cunningham. And it's Collison in for Roddy Beaubois. And then for Miami, Udonis Haslem. He's checked in for LeBron. Harrington comes in for Rashard Lewis. And it's James Jones in for Mike Miller.
He will fight you down low, guys. Really battles in there. He comes up with a lot of second chance buckets.
Collison kicks to Kaman. Gathers. It's blocked. The Heat leading by 23. Here's Clutch. And there's the pass to Harrington. Here's Clutch, guarded by Mayo. 6 on the shot clock. And Chalmers kicks to Harrington. No good on the triple. And it's the Mavericks with the ball. Mayo off the pick from Nowitzki. Leans. Mayo. That's good. Mayo's got 6 points in the quarter.
Boy, they are really getting chewed up inside here. I mean, that's 8 of the last 10 points they've given up inside, in the paint.
Yeah, and the paint should be sacred ground for a defense. I mean, you can't let anybody just trot in there and get an easy bucket.
Nowitzki with the steal. Wants to get it to Collison and does. Outside Mayo, and Nowitzki backs in. And it's Haslem with the rebound. Haslem's got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. The pull-up. No good on the buzzer beater. And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. It's the Heat running away with it. And
Make sure to pick up a copy of 2K Sports Magazine.
hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. Now, let's check in with Doris Burke for the Sprite Uncontainable Game. Doris?
Hey guys, well, it was the stretch by the Heat that garners the uncontainable game today. As their lead grows, so has their defensive effort, and they keep feeding off one another. It's been a statement game for them on that side of the ball.
Thank you, Doris. And how many times, guys, do we see a run like this become the difference maker in the outcome of a game?
Well, that usually is the case, Kevin, when one team can get on a run like they did, where they just feel so dominant offensively. More often than not, that's going to be the difference in the game.
And in this game, even at the very beginning of that run, you could sense the momentum getting ready to take a huge swing. And swing it did, fellas. Swing it did.
Dirk and Kaman, they're inside. Mayo out there with Collison. And it's Carter in at the small forward position. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas. Collison kicks to Kaman. That is good. Wade with it.
All right, Mavs fans, keep it going with a little defense.
Haslem, the pass to LeBron. That is good. LeBron's now got 30.
Attacking the paint again and again.
You know, they're getting whatever they want. I mean, 8 straight points coming inside.
Now here's Collison. Kaman sets a screen for Carter. Leads him in there. It's stolen by Haslem.
Come on, fans, get on your feet and make some noise with a little defense.
Beyond the arc. Gets it to go. Clutch has got 9 points here in the second half.
Tell you what, they haven't exactly been shy about letting it fly from deep here in the second half.
You know, Steve, if you have the lead, you can afford to be a little comfortable with the three-point shots. You just don't want to fall too much in love with it.
Collison dishes to Nowitzki. That falls. Great assist by Darren Collison. Collison's got his 8th assist in the game. Wade against Collison. And Haslam kicks to Wade. Flushes it down.
Such an aggressive player. I just love the way he explodes to the rim.
And so it's Dallas with it. Up next for them, the Grizzlies at the FedEx Forum. That's game one of a 3-game road trip.
Boy, a lot of fans really focused on that matchup for Memphis.
Offensive rebound.
And that rebound pushes their margin to +5 on the board. Solid job on the glass.
Well, it's just part of what they've done here to build this big lead, and it shouldn't be overlooked. I mean, rebounding is a huge part of this game.
Now Collison. Carter kicks to Collison. For three. The shot misses. And Miami the other way now. LeBron with it. And Kamen picks him up defensively. LeBron passes to Haslam. And he converts the layup.
Boy, are they on a tear.
You know what, Steven? Offensively, you sometimes don't know how or why it happens, but you just ride the wave as long as it's flowing.
Collison kicks to Kamen. The shot's good. Collison making the play. That's now 8 points for Chris Kamen.
Smart move with that mismatch he's got.
You know what? That extra advantage sure pays off on the mid-range jumper.
He kicks to Harrington. He passes to Haslam. Again, the Heat good for 2.
You know, he's always been like a bad window washer, a streaky shooter. I mean, he's definitely in one of those grooves right now.
Outside Collison.
I'll tell you what, I like the introduction of the zone defense about a decade ago because it cleaned up the game. It used to be with the illegal defense call.
How about that basketball fan? Beautiful. Wow. Well, this fella can rise up there with the best of them.
Just a crazy finish, guys.
He's one of the few players with the athleticism to pull that off.
That was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Sprite. Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Nowitzki stays with it and hits the off-balance shot. Nowitzki's got 4 points this quarter.
You look at their scoring. Mid-range jumpers account for 6 of their last 10 points.
Well, defensively, they're doing a nice job of keeping them out of the paint, but you gotta give them credit. They're knocking down shots.
Don't do that to him. That was fantastic. Wow.
And Clark, the degree of difficulty.
Major.
That was amazing.
The Mavericks have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Collison kicks to Mayo. Back to Collison. The 11-footer. Again, Mayo missing.
And that's the way it's been. A big margin for them in the rebounding category.
You know, sometimes you got to get down and dirty and do the dirty work. And this one, they've done it, and it's paid off on the scoreboard in a big way.
Well, one thing you can always count on with Dallas is that they're going to be tough to beat at home. That crowd they fill up the arena every single night. They love their team, and of course, coming off the championship year of 2011, you know they'll be streaming through the turnstiles for many years to come in Dallas.
And it's a completely new group on the floor for the Mavericks. Then for the Heat, Shane Battier is checked in for Haslam. Allen comes in for LeBron. And it's Norris Cole in for Dwayne Wade. Back to Allen. Jumps up. That's good. Dallas really does love their Mavs, and this place can get absolutely crazy when the Mavs, Clark, are playing well.
And, Kevin, that has happened quite a lot recently. I mean, they won the title the year before last, and the Mavericks always seem to have a good home record, and last year no different. I mean, 23-10 in their home games last season.
Just 5 on the clock. Here's Thomas. They get it back. Here's Jones. And off target as he starts the game 0 for 1. Here's Cole, defended by Jones. And it's Cole missing.
Well, I think he had all the space he needed. He just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
Jones kicks to Murray. Some nice passing here by Dallas. Thomas dishes to Jones. That one falls, coming off of Thomas's feet.
Well, one thing that's been around in other sports but really didn't have a home in the NBA until the last CBA was contract renegotiation. Now, that is something that both players and GMs will have to consider each year.
Here's Clutch. Pass to Harrington. Shoots it. And Jones pulls it down.
Boy, that's a warm-up jumper there. I mean, when you're a pro, you can't make excuses for missing that one.
Here's Jones. Drills the baseline jumper. And going back to contract negotiations, Steve, a lot of times a player can change due to age or injury, and teams can benefit that way.
And on the flip side of that, I mean, if you're a young player and you blossom into a star, you know, maybe you have an opt-out clause. You don't have to sit back and play out that contract, so you can get out of your deal and then renegotiate a longer-term contract.
Allen with it. Jones covering. Again, the miss by the Heat. The Mavericks have gone 7 of 13 from the field here in the fourth. Back to Marion. Kicks it out to Jones. Outside Thomas. Fires for three. But they'll get another chance. And it's Miami with the rebound. Clutch has got 5 rebounds tonight. The dish to Cole. Mavericks with the rebound.
That was a layup, and you've got to knock that down. You've got to convert when you get those opportunities.
Here's Jones. Thomas. Fade away. Cole with the rebound.
And his mechanics are just all out of whack now. He just has no feel for his shot.
Well, his numbers certainly back that fact up. I mean, he has gone ice cold here.
Gets it to go. The Mavericks shooting from the field, 44%, not bad. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Marion passes to Jones. Good. Jones has got 6 points in the quarter.
You know, those types of high percentage shots, Kevin, should be a big part of what they do going forward.
Here's Allen. Here's Cole. He feeds it to Battier. Outside for Harrington. The tray. And the Heat. Another three.
Seems to be recovering after that rough first half. Really starting to play well here.
And here is Thomas. Marion kicks to Thomas. Kicks it to Jones. Brand outside. Kicks it out to Jones. Just 3 to shoot. Over Allen. The shot will not go. Excellent D there from Allen.
This is a nice lead they've built. Very good job controlling the glass this game.
You got to be pleased as a coach to see how your team has boxed out. Very fundamentally sound basketball. Yeah, points in the paint have been a huge factor here for them.
Steve looking to take it inside and go up strong. That's a remedy for success.
Marion dishes to Thomas. Passes it to Jones. He dishes it to Jones. Brand up top. The feed to Jones. Over Allen. Jones, no luck. The Heat shooting extremely well. 62% on the night to this point. Here's Clutch. Fires the three. The dive for the ball. And Jones pulls it down. Dallas has gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Here's Thomas. Second chance shot. And the basket by Jones.
They need to try to find some more opportunities here in the second half. They've not been as active on the offensive glass.
Miami's gone 2 of 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. It's Allen with the drive. That's good.
That's 4 of their last 5 buckets now coming in the paint area.
And they're in attack mode right now, barreling in there with bad man intentions.
Here's Jones. That one falls, coming off of Thomas's feet. Thomas got 3 assists now in this one. A minute 42 left to play in the final quarter. Here's Cole. He's guarded by Thomas. There's the screen. Cole, the pass to Battier. Here's Clutch. Pocket 6. Feeds to Harrington. Lets it go from the wing. And Jones pulls it down. Jones has got his 3rd rebound tonight. Dishes to Jones. Down low. Battier with the steal. An even 3-on-3 break. And Cole kicks to Allen. There's the pass to Cole. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. Marty Beaubois is checked in for Isaiah Thomas. Then for the Heat, Rashard Lewis. He's checked in for Harrington. James Jones comes in for Norris Cole. And Mike Miller subbed in for Ray Allen. And Beaubois kicks to Marion. Out to Beaubois. Shot clock at 6. Sinks the triple.
He may not be their top 3-point option, guys, but you still got to cover him. I mean, you got to defend him in some form or fashion.
Miami's gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight. 5 of 12. He kicks it to Jones. Lewis, guarded by Marion. Lewis dishes to Battier. Here's Clutch. Shoots over Beaubois. And Jones pulls it down.
That's very uncharacteristic for him to miss that shot with such little defensive pressure.
Beaubois outside. Beaubois off a pick from Brand. Unloads from 9. The shot is off.
And the defense did a pretty good job of closing off the middle once he got inside the lane.
And so Miami takes this one by a big margin. They put on a show tonight, thoroughly controlling each end of the floor.
Hey, what more can you ask?
And that'll wrap it up. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan, and thanks for tuning in.
Points for you tonight. Taking on a lot of the scoring load was a major help for your team. Did you feel like you were just in the zone?
Nah, I wouldn't say I was in the zone at all. Really, all my points were a result of the offense that coach drew up for the game. I knew that if I kept moving and coming off the screens, I would get the open looks, and then it was just a matter of finishing the play. You have to give credit to the coaching staff and my teammates for setting me up with all those looks before you start sending any praise my way, man.